Welcome to Podcast Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox podcast. My name's Ryan McCaffrey. To my left, the great Mitchell Dyer.
Hello, hello. I'm on a different side of the table. Like, I'm usually here.
You're...
Now I'm over here. It's weird.
Elena Yee on my right.
I'm back again.
Good to see you.
So soon.
Yeah. Everybody, the people have demanded your return.
Oh, man. That's
So we fired Marty.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Marty's at Comic-Con. So is Sean. But we're glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Because... And it's perfect timing for your visit this week because we have a sort of, you're our tech editor here at IGN,
right.
And we do have a tech-related Xbox story to discuss with you. That's the juicy thing we're gonna chew on. We're gonna gnaw on it this week, and it'll be good to dive into. First, though, let's talk real quick about. Let's just recap. What's happened
It's been a couple weeks
since we've last been in this room. So we did our IGN house party,
yes.
Mitch.
That was awesome.
It was so fun.
Episode 200. What did you how did you have? Because I haven't really talked to you about it. Like we did it, and then it was just like I'm exhausted.
And then everyone's been so busy. Yeah, no. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was really great to do that show with that many people in the room, that many people engaging and like shouting at us, and like we were just talking to the crowd a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. How was it watching it from the cheap seats?
So the cheap seats were not the good seats. So if you paid for an actual legit seat down below, that was the smart call to make because the acoustics in the room weren't great. So if you were standing around the rim at the top, the speakers were facing in.
Yeah.
So it was actually really hard to hear. The Q&A session questions were really difficult to hear, which I thought was a bummer. Those are usually my favorite parts of those kind of events.
Yeah. And I know I've heard a few reports the audio, the iTunes version that we put out of 200, I guess the sound isn't quite ideal, so apologies for that. We will work on that for next time. Check out, I think the video version might be better because it got sort of a more polished edit put on it by our Ace Video team.
Yeah. Also, this was it was a live show, and there's going to be audio issues of very many kinds when it goes into iTunes without, actually being there. But we did want to put that episode out for anyone who couldn't be there to actually
which is
be able to
99.99% of our listeners. We had 450 people in the room, but we're very lucky to have far more than that listen.
True.
It really did. I had a great time doing it. It was so cool to meet everybody in the lobby beforehand and then after. And then I didn't make it to the after party, though.
I did not either. I was so tired.
I saw a few drunk pictures from some
too.
people, though. So I'm almost kind of glad I didn't make it.
It
Looks like
looked
IGN
cool
had some...
from the awesome kind of trailer that one of the fans put together.
Yeah, it was. That's a good point. I wish I'd written down his name, but he cut together a really cool sort of.
It was really well done.
Sort of look back at the house party.
Yeah.
But I think we definitely want to do it again next year. It's just a matter of the logistics, and I mean those things are. We had very little to do with it. It was Kirsten Slater, our sort of events manager / PR person / problem solver. She built the whole thing, so we'll see. But it seems like everybody had a pretty good time, and
feedback from the whole event was super great.
Yeah,
I had a great time being there. I definitely had a great time at 201, which was recorded before 200 was at E3, but it kind of
held hostage.
So first of all, I want to say a sincere thank you to everybody. My Twitter feed since it went up, and IGN, and even like NeoGAF and Reddit have just had nothing but really nice things to say about that piece with Phil Spencer and Peter Moore, and of course Seamus Blackley, the creator of the Xbox. It was it's just super. Just makes you feel good to read nice things, and that was definitely a career highlight for me. I feel like I've been covering Xbox for 12 and a half years doing this. I almost felt like it was kind of like the culmination of all that time, like all this weird encyclopedic knowledge that had built up in my head, and then it was like herding cats though, trying to get those guys in the same room at the same time.
Bet. 3 of the most important dudes in the video game industry.
That's the thing. It's like
right?
because the guys like that, their schedules are. Well, they have assistants because their schedules are so busy. And I a quick behind the scenes, I basically started trying to put that together about 6 months ago. Like the beginning of the year, I thought 200 is coming up this year. What can we do that would be cool?
Yeah, and we were talking about it on the show. You were trying to rally the troops to LA.
It's my original plan was to try and have that be 200 live from LA and have a live studio audience there with Peter Moore, Phil Spencer, and Seamus Blackley. But there were just some logistics reasons why I won't bore you with why that couldn't happen. So, I was lucky enough to get to do it anyway. Shot it, and I knew right after. I was like, I was fascinated by that. Like I was just sitting there trying to just steer the conversation. Like, wow, they shared some incredible stories about like Red Ring of Death, and Phil got super real at the end about, I asked like, oh, what's your sort of proudest moment over your career on Xbox? And Phil starts talking about, the sort of last year since he took over and trying to sort of repair the PR damage done to the Xbox brand. And it's like, yeah, it got super real. And it was, but even funnier stories like Seamus Blackley explained why the Xbox color is green.
Yep.
Which was a hilarious story that I won't spoil here. So many of you have seen it and said nice things, but if you haven't seen 201 yet, you can either listen to it on iTunes or whatever, just download the audio from whatever podcast feed you like, or it's on IGN or YouTube. It's an hour and a half long, and yeah, we probably shouldn't even be here because I just walk away from the show should be over. There is no from here. It is. It's all. There's no way I can top that. That was a rare treat, and I just am so thankful to Phil and Peter and Seamus for coming out and doing that. That was a treat for sure. So let's move on. We'll talk a little Xbox rumors, which are always fun. And it's kind of a slow news week otherwise in this sort of downtime after E3.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling this is going to be one of those shows where there'll be some cool Xbox things that happen at Comic-Con, which starts tomorrow.
Yeah, and they are going to be there.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those shows where by the time most people hear it, it'll be like, oh,
look at all the scoops they
something
missed.
Big happened, and we didn't talk about it. So we'll, of course, cover that stuff next week. But for now, we will be right back and talk Xbox and AMD, KISSING, sitting in a tree. Or wait, I got that backwards.
Nailed it.
Help me out, Mitch.
No.
It's too late now.
It's good. It's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's okay.
All right. Elena Yee, tech editor, IGN.com. You're a smart person. You follow everything happening in the tech world, whether it's Oculus or Morpheus or whatever it is going on. You also keep close eye on what AMD and NVIDIA get up to, and
I do.
By trade as well, of course, AMD and Intel. So this was an interesting rumor that popped up last week, and I wouldn't say it's quite gone away, but it also hasn't really super intensified yet. So this huge grain of salt on this, but I thought it was worth discussing, and that's the notion that Microsoft may just decide to buy AMD, makers of the chipset that go in both the Xbox One and PS4.
Right.
What does that mean if they were to do that?
Well, it's kind of funny because, obviously we chatted a bit, kind of have notes about it, some thoughts already, right?
Yeah.
But I can't get past the fact that it just doesn't make any sense to me, period.
That's why it's a rumor.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, there was rumors, I think, earlier this year where they were saying that, maybe Samsung will buy AMD.
Right.
But it doesn't make any sense to me just because looking at it from a regulatory standpoint, if AMD stops being its own company, I wonder what that means for Intel in terms of, monopoly and regulatory sort of stuff. And honestly, Intel kind of needs AMD to be around.
I think we all do, right?
Well, honestly, in terms of just general CPUs, Intel's just killing it and has been for the last couple of generations.
But it always tends to go back and forth, right? Like AMD will kind of
That's how it used to be.
It's always the David and Goliath, right?
That's how it used to be. We've been waiting for AMD to really come back into its own. It's been kind of struggling a little bit. They've been restructuring. They have a relatively still new CEO.
Right. But
if
in the console space.
Yeah, but in the console space, if you wanted to speculate, if Microsoft were to buy AMD, that could change the game, right?
In a
potentially
fundamental way.
Potentially.
It's so the report was that apparently AMD is worth, Microsoft has $90 billion in cash. Not quite Apple money, but pretty darn good money. Not bad.
It's all right.
That's pocket change.
Yeah, chump change.
And AMD bought ATI, video card maker, back in 2006.
Long time ago.
And it has not really gone well. The company is apparently valued at 3 times less, about $2 billion now, than it was when it bought when AMD bought ATI in 2006. So Microsoft could just go swallow them pretty easily and not really. It would be like, oh, I guess maybe we'll eat it like McDonald's today instead of steakhouse, and then tomorrow we'll go back to eating it.
Yeah,
steakhouse.
The gains for acquiring AMD seems pretty minimal compared to the company's losses. Like, if AMD is on that downward trajectory for almost 10 years now, and Microsoft is looking to acquire, that's probably not the company you want. You probably want a company that might be worth more, like Intel, that is more reliable, that is consistently better in terms of sales. Like, AMD just seems like a weird purchase.
But
well, I think Ryan has a stronger point on that because Intel is not really as strong on the graphics side of things.
Sure.
Right? I mean,
they're all about processors.
They're more
and Pentiums.
Vital.
They got the Pentiums.
Vital to the console.
That's a little bit. Well, they still have technically they have a Pentium chip, but that's not the hot thing right now.
No.
The Intel is mostly just like they focus more on like CPU and like furthering those chips and really pushing that. They have integrated graphics in that, but it's not quite the same kind of setup that AMD uses, which is I think why ultimately that both console makers went with AMD's architecture.
Yeah, I believe if I remember right, the code name of the chip that's in both consoles is Jaguar, I think.
Oh yeah, that sounds very familiar.
I
It's
think
an older one, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, think about it, like Microsoft does have a tablet business. They, with the Surface. Surface is a big thing.
Right.
Apple has sort of engineered. They have their own proprietary.
Right. Their A8.
The
chip.
A whatever that they just iterate on and they own it and they steer it exactly where it needs to go to power their mobile devices. Maybe Microsoft turns a slipping AMD into, all right, you're going to make the console chips and then we're going to tailor you to make Surface chips and make them better and make them cheaper and make them faster.
Well, right now Surface tablets are using Intel
ARMs, right?
No.
No?
I mean, well, so
that's a long time ago. I'm old.
So there's 2 different lines. There was originally. So for the Surface and Surface 2 lines, there was an RT line, which was based on ARM, and then there was the actual normal x86 architecture that they used chips for. And RT did not take off at all. It's pretty much a
too
failed,
expensive, right?
I mean, I hate to say it, but it was a failed venture because it was so crippled, the experience.
Right.
You can't even, like, I have an RT, like, Surface 2 tablet, and you can't use any other browser than Internet Explorer.
Oh.
It's not a great experience. There's not any apps because it's very much like they tried to replicate the whole like iOS Android experience where you have to go to an app store to download stuff, but there's nothing in it. There's a lot of like crapware and even probably malware in there. It's just not a good experience.
Is crapware a technical term?
Crapware, yeah.
That's what I call it.
Doctors recommend, not
That's what
crapware.
I call it.
Yeah, it also just doesn't help that RT is synonymous with inferior, especially in the Surface lineup, right? You have the RT, but then you also have the Pro, which is the actual
awesome.
functional PC that's great.
Yeah,
and then you have the RT, which is this like, okay,
well, that's what I mean.
it's trying to be
essentially
a Surface.
crippled.
Yeah.
It would have been fine if they had all the same
Yeah.
functionality. But in terms of gaming, like those chips are so constrained because, it's such a small form factor. You have to worry about heat, and then that, kind of throttles performance. So I don't know if AMD would really help that any because of the form factor.
Right. But here's where it gets more interesting is that, again, both Sony and Microsoft pay AMD the report is about $100 per console for that system on chip. So if Microsoft says, we got like $100 billion in cash, we're just going to spend 2% of that, grab ourselves an AMD. Now we own that. Now the PS4, which is selling at record-breaking paces, we make money on every PS4.
It's not bad.
Boom. Like, that's nuts if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean that.
And it lowers the cost of the Xbox One for them, obviously.
That would be one. Honestly, when you describe it that way, that could be a compelling reason for it, right? The other is that if they really wanted, not that they would need to, but if they really wanted to push DX12, as the main like API that everyone's using, because AMD came up with their own Mantle, but it's kind of like there's just all these different kind of things floating out there, right? But this would like really pull it together, really kind of force everyone to get on the DX12 boat. Not that people won't, but if they ever wanted to, they could just do it that way too.
I mean, the other thing that got my mind going about this rumor, if it came true, was, I mean, if you look at, if you got to figure that the power brokers here, the Sonys, Microsofts, and Nintendo as well, the console race, that this business, it's generational, but it's a chess game too. You've got to be thinking a few moves ahead. I mean, back when Microsoft made a big bet on Kinect, which paid off short term, hasn't paid off as much on the long term, but you got to figure, well, if Microsoft looks at this and goes, well, we can buy low on AMD, who supplies our console chips. The two primary options are AMD and Intel for this. We want to stay in the console business. We want to make a fourth Xbox console. We assume Sony will make a PlayStation 5 in 7 years, whatever it's going to be. If Microsoft buys AMD, that puts Sony in a really difficult position for the PlayStation 5 of either having to pay Microsoft to use an AMD chip in the PlayStation 5, a hypothetical PlayStation 5, or it makes them have to buy their chip from Intel, which would then give Intel all sorts of negotiating leverage to charge a super high price from Sony for that, or it forces them to go back down sort of the cell road and engineer their own thing, which
don't
didn't
do it.
Well, but that's exactly right. It didn't sort of go well with under the hood with PS3 for that, and it's the opposite approach. Going the x86 route has been hugely successful for them with PS4. So if you're thinking of it as that several moves ahead chessboard, this could be a move more about the next generation of the Xbox business.
But I'm just gonna put it out there. I mean, I know we love to talk about things in terms of like chess and console wars.
I know it's fun.
It is super fun, but I would say it's actually still not uncommon in the tech world for companies to produce things that other companies will buy, even if they're rivals.
That is
right.
True.
So if I remember right, I think Samsung produces glass for Apple. And you don't.
Microsoft pays Sony for there's a Blu-ray drive in the Xbox One that Sony gets a nickel or whatever off of.
Yeah, because that's their technology.
I mean, even now Microsoft owns Mojang, which makes Minecraft, and they continue to update that game for PlayStation and iOS and all these non-Xbox platforms.
Yeah.
Microsoft is maybe continuing to operate in a direction that is not necessarily about exclusivity.
Yeah. So it's still fun to speculate. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it would be that unusual if it didn't happen.
So I think your point about it powering, like this being a play for the next Xbox, makes a lot more sense than a short-term gain with, well, they sold 20 million PlayStations. We'll get them $100 for the next 20 million.
Right.
Obviously not an insubstantial amount of money, but still, if you're thinking long-term, it's, okay, if Sony's going to be steamrolling in the next generation as well, let's capitalize on that.
Yeah. So the other point I wanted to make is, if it were to come true, and again, we're acknowledging this is a soft rumor at best right now, but I think this would put to bed what I feel are the super silly rumors that seem to just bubble up every now and again about Microsoft wanting to sell off the Xbox business.
I love where that rumor comes about.
Which I never believed for a second.
So good.
But this would obviously put a definitive end to any of that.
But it didn't help either that there was an executive who,
a prospective executive.
That's true. But
he wasn't even an executive at the time.
Not of the Xbox division, but he was an executive within the Microsoft.
That was when he was interviewing for the CEO. That was before he was with the company. He said, I would consider doing this.
Oh, he was at Samsung, right?
No,
Nokia.
Nokia
guy.
I think they already bought Nokia by that point.
And they did, and there were some, sadly, horrible layoffs related to that this week, which we're not really talking about because it's all related to their phone business, not to the Xbox business. But and I just think this would put a sharp end to that whole silly notion rather quickly.
Has Satya bought anything since Nokia?
Minecraft.
Yeah, I guess so.
He signs that check.
Yeah.
Not a small check.
Yeah.
Wait, AMD's worth the same amount of money as Minecraft? That's kind of nuts to think about.
That'd be insane.
says more about Minecraft.
That's an entire
than
company
else.
with hundreds of employees.
Yeah, wild.
That's crazy.
So finally, do you guys? Let's say it comes true.
Yeah.
Let's pretend the rumor becomes real. Is it a good move for Microsoft? Mitch
Your
Steiner?
arguments have convinced me that there is value there. TBD if it pays off. It's like a Connect situation where it might be a great short-term benefit,
Right.
but next gen Sony might go, okay, and just work with Intel and have the better chipset. So TBD, but it's exciting. It could be great, and I would be excited to see it come true.
Elena? My voice is so gone today.
I'm
like a teenager.
I'm 14 years old.
I was going
Hey.
to say you're regressing back to puberty. Getting younger.
Benjamin Button over here.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'm one of those people that I'd have to see what the details were like before I could make a call. I do think it sounds incredibly intriguing.
Yeah,
it would
totally.
definitely change what we think of when we think about the tech landscape. So
For sure. All right, so we'll keep our eye on this. It may go nowhere. Maybe tomorrow it would be announced as happening. We don't know, but it's fun to think about what the future, the present and future of Xbox, of how that would be affected. All right, Mitch, what's next?
We got the E3 Game Critics Awards winners announced. Steve Butts, our editor-in-chief, was on that voting board along with a bunch of other people in the
He
games
clearly
industry.
voted wrong, Mitch.
Oh, maybe his votes were just outvoted.
No.
But yeah, there's a lot of really good games on here. Obviously, E3 was a very busy, very good show for a lot of platform holders. But yeah, an alarming lack of Xbox exclusives on here.
Which is, because they had such a great show and they showed so many great games. I'm really bummed out that they got shut out here.
Yeah, obviously we see like Fallout 4, the Best of Show winner was on Microsoft
Multi-platform,
stage.
sure.
It was on obviously Bethesda's stage. So there's some representation there, but I mean we didn't really see any love for like Forza or Tomb Raider or any Halo, like
or
not
Cuphead, which was IGN's best
our
Xbox One game.
Yeah, a good spread of games, but not a lot of exclusives here for the Xbox platform.
Best racing. I don't want to. I'm not knocking Need for Speed, the reboot, but best racing game, Need for Speed. Did any of these voters actually go to the Microsoft booth and play Forza 6?
I don't even
it's
know.
phenomenal.
If Need for Speed was Need for Speed playable?
It
must have been. They voted for it.
At least for judges, which happens sometimes where they'll let judges play it to prove like, hey, this is real and it's not a fake thing. I mean, I saw Need for Speed down at the pre-E3 Judges Week thing, and it's nice, but I just don't think it holds a candle to Forza as a racing game.
No, I'm with you.
So that was unfortunate. Regarding Cuphead, which was up in the which one was Best Independent Game. You can't fault No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
it's just like, well, that's one of those things where it's
too dominant.
Well, you're just up. It's the wrong year. You picked the wrong year. Any other year, Cuphead probably wins that. But nevertheless, special commendation for graphics. Uncharted 4, beautiful game. I saw the behind closed doors presentation. Yep. How does Cuphead not win that? You show Cuphead to anyone. My wife looked at that and went, "Whoa."
Yeah, there might have been a stipulation like graphics is different than aesthetic. Like
maybe
the aesthetic of Cuphead is obviously incredible.
Yeah,
but graphically, it's
so we're talking about like shadowing and textures,
even just like fidelity, like.
That's really hard. That line between the two is really.
And we argue about it every year at the Game of the Year.
Best hardware. Okay, Oculus Touch. I didn't get to experience the Touch, which is the two hands things. But the HoloLens thing was so cool. Yeah, the field of view, but that was incredible. That was an incredible demo.
Yeah, I just feel like Oculus, especially with Touch, like there is more practical usage for that. There is a more tactile, immediate understanding of what it's useful for.
And you have a better sense of when you're actually going to be able to, no pun intended, get your hands on it.
Yeah.
Right? Well, HoloLens, they're not talking about release or price or anything yet, whereas with Touch, you know that it's going to become available next year.
And then another one that bothered me, again, this is what IGN readers do when we make lists all the time.
Yeah.
What about this? This should have won. So it's fun for us to get to do it. Best family social game. Okay, Super Mario Maker is cool, but come on, nothing beats Rock Band for a social, fun experience. Mario Maker's not a 4-player game.
No, that's true. That's a weird category, right? Because you have family and social.
Yeah.
Like, family doesn't necessarily mean
like
social.
It means it's rated E. Okay, it's rated E for everyone.
Or something like you can play with your kids. And Mario Maker is a super innovative, really creative,
absolutely
awesome way of expressing creative thinking and design, and it really is special. But yeah, I guess it depends on what angle you take, if it's family or social.
And then, best action game, that's a tough category.
Good luck.
It's hard to argue with Battlefront, but, boy, Warzone was super fun.
Yeah.
And what was the other? There was another big shooter that I played at the show that memory now fails me on.
So there were too many games.
Yeah, that's a tough category. Yeah, it was just, I thought it was unfortunate that Xbox had such a good show this year and had showed so many great games and got completely shut out of, as far as exclusive games, got shut out of the Game Critics Awards.
Yeah, hard to compete with a lot of stuff like that, right? Especially when, like, the best original game, Horizon Zero Dawn, incredible debut.
It was a great demo.
But I would love to have seen Sea of Thieves playable, or at least have like a more extended demo to make it qualify for a category like this.
Yeah.
It was just such a missed opportunity because that game was so exciting and there was nothing else.
Good
Obviously,
point.
we'll see more, probably at Gamescom, but E3, man.
I'm going to be so jealous if those guys
I
get
know.
to see more of it at Gamescom. That's Sea of Thieves. Would you, best of show, Fallout 4, would you have voted for it, Mitch?
Battlefront.
Battlefront?
Yeah.
Which was IGN's game of the show.
That's what I voted for.
Hard to argue. Elena?
It's a toss-up.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's very different experiences.
Best of show, the best game you saw at E3, what would you have voted for?
Man, I didn't really get out that much, honestly. I was trapped in VR land.
Which is good.
You got to play Edge of Nowhere, right?
I did. That was so good.
I'm so jealous.
So good.
Which is an Oculus game.
And I hope that comes to Xbox.
From Insomniac, which is the makers of course, Sunset Overdrive.
And with Oculus becoming part of the Xbox platform, that's really exciting potential
sort
there.
of.
Yeah. But, I mean, they're welcoming it, right? It's interesting to see Microsoft kind of embracing VR with open arms because it's working on its own AR system. Mm-hmm. So there's room for them to fill that gap. Why not let Oculus do that?
Right, but at the moment, the integration with Windows 10 is pretty limited. It's not what you would think in terms of games, which is a little unfortunate, I feel. That said, separately speaking, just going back to Edge of Nowhere, so good. I can't stop talking about it when people ask me about it.
Can't wait for that.
It's the atmosphere in it is just so good. Like, it's so creepy. There's just one part where you're just going through the dark, and the whole time I was just wishing that my torch went further with its light, It's just so good with the suspense, so good with like the camera angles, like making it really difficult to discern what's going on.
As quickest, no, this is not Xbox related, but a third-person game in VR works for you? Because that was that's my concern without playing it. Like, a third-person game in VR, that's weird.
Sort of. I would say that it didn't bother me. Because then it's less about the whole, this is an experience that I'm having, and it's more about just that kind of 360 sort of perspective.
I could see, okay.
The only issue I had specifically with that demo was that some of the camera angles were very odd. So there's one point where you're doing some platforming stuff, but you're looking at it from this kind of weird 45-degree angle. So it made me miss my jumps.
Oh, yeah. No, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the E3 Game Critics Awards. Fun to argue about, and we can go yell at Steve, our boss, since he was one of the voters. What have you done?
Enough.
You're part of the problem. All right. Minecraft, Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
Are you a Minecraft guy?
Not even remotely.
Elena, Minecraft?
No.
Yeah, it's one of those. I just respect the hell out of it, but I haven't sunk myself into it.
Yeah.
I have a 11 and 9-year-old nephews whose entire lives are Minecraft.
Yeah, they live and breathe it.
And I see, where was I? I was just at the airport over the weekend, and I saw a number of kids like just decked out and all. And then I was
with creeper hoodies.
Yep,
and
I was at Barnes and Noble. There was I tweeted out there was a whole Minecraft like wall of toys. I mean, Minecraft is huge.
It's amazing stuff in it.
So Telltale Games, our friends over there, who I'm still waiting for them to make my Archer game
someday.
But they are making a Minecraft game called Minecraft Story Mode. They got me to care about Borderlands in a big time way when I have not been a Borderlands guy. What did you guys think of the Minecraft Story Mode trailer from Telltale?
Yeah, I felt the same way, right? Like I went into Borderlands not really care. Like I'd played Borderlands but didn't love it, so I went into it kind of pessimistically and came out the other side of episode 1 going like, okay, you did it. Like you just told a really good story that happens to take place in Borderlands, and that looks like what they're doing with Minecraft, where they have a bubbly cast of characters and they have this crazy setting and they're doing all this insane stuff, but it just happens to be in Minecraft's blocky world.
Well, and apparently it adheres to there are universe rules in Minecraft as well.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, I guess because doesn't the trailer show you down in like a hell type thing at some point,
Yeah,
which is like
ends.
way underneath.
Yeah, which is a place
funny.
that exists in Minecraft. How about that voice cast too?
Not bad, right?
Patton Oswalt
As the lead?
As the
That's
lead.
a good move.
Can't argue that. Pee Wee Herman's in it.
Yep.
Paul Rubens. It's good times.
Lots of old Telltale faithful. Scott Porter, Dave Fennoy.
Yeah. What'd you think of it, Elena? Didn't do anything for you?
No.
No?
I mean, that's
all
totally
right.
fair.
That's legit.
I understand that.
I mean, because honestly, I think maybe I have too much of an association between Minecraft and Lego. So I think when I queued up the trailer, I was expecting something a little bit more peppy, a little bit more in the line of like the Lego movie.
Right.
And so when it seemed a little bit more, I don't know, kind of not quite slapstick, but like kind of goofy, like, you know, the gang's all together and we're having this weird adventure sort of vibe, like it didn't really do it for me. So I think I'd have to see more before.
Yeah, I could see
got
that. There were a
sucked
few
in.
people on Twitter that were, you know, I sent out the link to the trailer, and people were like, "Well, that could be anything. It just happens to have the Minecraft game on it." Which,
yeah, I think that's
but,
exactly it.
Yeah,
for me.
so I guess it's definitely on Telltale to sort of make it somehow definitively Minecraft while also telling an interesting story over what I presume will be 5, maybe 6 episodes. But
I think they outright said this one is 5.
5, okay. Yeah, only just Game of Thrones has been the
Thrones.
exception so far. But yeah, I wonder if they can make me care about another thing that I have traditionally not been super invested in.
Yeah.
They've been good at it so far.
I'm now interested, not quite excited, but definitely I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
my
I didn't
curiosity. I'm in.
I had
I'll check it out.
no expectations when I sat down to watch that trailer. I was like, okay, like when they announced it, I went, okay, that's weird. It's kind of the same reaction I had with Borderlands, quite frankly. Like, oh, that's strange. So, yeah. Do we have any idea when this is coming out, Mitch?
No. 2015, I think, is when they said it would start.
Okay.
I think.
So December 31st, knowing
Yeah,
Telltale?
exactly.
Yeah. Because we're smack dab in the middle of Tales from the Borderlands. Game of Thrones is still going. We got 2 more in that?
They also have Minecraft. They're working on the Marvel game. They're working on their original Super Show.
Oh, man.
They're probably doing another Walking Dead.
I think haven't they outright said there's a Walking Dead season 3 or no?
Maybe like hinted at it. Oh, no, you're right. They did the shown announcement. That's correct. Yeah.
Right. Boy, that's a lot of irons in the fire for those
Yeah.
guys.
I'm never going to see Wolf Among Us again.
No.
I know.
Oh, no,
I was
rest
like,
in peace.
oh, man.
Hey, it's only the best thing they've ever done, guys. Don't worry about it.
So good.
Crying.
Rest in peace, Bigby. Love you. Miss you.
That hair.
Whatever. There's like 300 issues of Fables if you want more.
No, I know,
Bigby.
I know.
but I like the version that they
It's
have
so
in
much
that.
prettier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite art style that they've done
Yep.
yet as well as Wolf Among Us, but yeah, maybe someday. Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
My heart's
not
breaking.
Not when there's bigger fish to fry like Marvel
Seriously.
and the Lionsgate thing. Like, okay, all right. Finally this week, Xbox Music getting renamed
Again.
again.
Sorry.
I forgot about that. So is it still staying the same subscription service?
As far as I know,
But now it's just
a name
called
change.
What?
Yeah.
Groove?
In advance of Windows 10, it's going to be folded into that. So they didn't want the Xbox name on it since it'll be part of the
Which
ecosystem.
is weird because everything else about
You mean like Xbox Live is part of the Windows 10 ecosystem?
yeah, like the Xbox name is deliberately being added to Windows, but maybe they want
Well-
to separate it so it's just games.
I think so, because honestly, when they did the original switch to calling it Xbox Music and Xbox Video, I was really confused why they did that, because it starts to confuse what that brand is, right? So, because until that point, for almost
What
10
was it called before originally?
I don't even remember anymore. I think
can't
it was
even
just, I think it was just music.
Oh, it was the Zune Marketplace, right?
That's it.
It was just, music and movies or whatever. It's a simple name, nothing fancy, but like by that point, when they renamed it, already been 10 years of people associating Xbox with games, and then it got confusing because then you started to wonder, do I need to have an Xbox to play music through this? I don't understand.
Well, now it's called Groove. So there's
all right.
I've heard from people that use it, because Because I'm a Pandora guy. I know you like Rdio, right? Yeah.
I've been using Apple Music because the trial's free.
The trial, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Haven't tried it yet.
It's not Rdio and it's not Spotify, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But
the radio thing's cool. Beats One is awesome.
Yeah, from what everybody has told me who does use Zune Marketplace / Xbox Music / Group is that it is a pretty solid service. So look for that name change. And then they're calling Xbox Video Movies and TV. That's about as plain and straightforward as you can get.
Got it.
Hey, what is this? What's in here?
Where's Netflix?
That's it. Slow news week, my friends.
Seriously.
Not much going on.
Until SCCC makes us look like idiots.
I think, yeah, exactly. We'll have more to talk about after
next
Comic-Con
week's show should be all right.
Should be the makeup show. Mitch Dyer.
Yes.
Is there anything, if there's no news, are there things we can go spend some money on and play?
Yeah, The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited is finally out for Xbox One, only 1 year later than anticipated, I think.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even update this. This is
from last week?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Aww.
It's still worth noting that it's out, but
yeah, so that's a $60 game, no subscription. I'm going to, Ryan Vamp, I'm going to open up Smart Glass and bring up the new things.
I will say on the marketplace, this is definitely new. There's this, which was complete news to me. There is an IGN car pack for Forza Horizon 2.
Good job, salespeople.
Yeah, none of us knew that existed. That's another side of the company that clearly does that stuff.
There was an IGN car pack for Horizon 1, I think. Or maybe it's Forza 5.
I think it was Forza 5.
What cars are in it?
There are 6 cars. 6. It is a really bad day for my voice.
So good. I love it.
I'll do that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Take your shots now.
Yeah.
Because next week I'll be back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's 6 cars, $5. I can tell you that much, and it's just a hodgepodge of stuff. So, if you need some more rides, more whips for your Horizons, apparently IGN has you covered.
Yeah, I'm opening the car pack bundle now on Smart Glass. The bundle includes. Oh, there's a bundle where you can get Forza Horizon 2, and the IGN car pack. The IGN car pack includes 5 new cars to collect, race, and customize, including.
Wait, I thought it was 6 cars.
So I thought 5 new cars to collect. There might be more at the bottom. 2014 Aston Martin V12 Vantage.
Nice.
2015 Audi S1. 2014 Nissan Juke Nismo RS.
Oh, that No.
Yeah.
No one wants that in real life.
Yeah, right.
You don't want it in fake life either. But those other ones are cool.
Yeah. 2002 for all players can enjoy instant access to this pack's free bonus car, the 2002 Ferrari 575.
There we go.
Maranello.
Nice.
So yes, there are 6. Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma something came out on the 30th, so that's available for $50. Blaze Blue's a really, really good fighting series.
Oh yeah, I mean it's super niche, but really good at what it does.
We also missed Scrabble coming to Xbox Live.
Woo! As Marty would say.
Yeah. That's $15, which
$15
for Scrabble.
It's like $5 on
you
iPad.
Can play Words with Friends for $1.
It's also awesome on iPad, by the way.
Quiplash, which looking at it, I instantly knew was from the You Don't Know Jack and Fibbage guys.
Nice.
That's $10. I don't even know what that game is, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to be worth it.
Those guys know what's up.
Yeah. And that's it for games on Xbox One.
I did up Games with Gold is accurate if you want to tell us about that.
Yeah, so the Games with Gold, we still have Massive Chalice for free all month on Xbox One. We also have, gosh, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yep, that was June.
Where are we?
Last page.
Oh yeah, of course. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is available. And Plants vs. Zombies is, what day is today? Are we still in the first half of the month?
2 games.
All right. PvZ from July 1st to July 15th, and then Gears of War 3 from July 16th to 31st.
And you missed one for Xbox One.
Oh, did I? Oh, what is So Many Me?
Good question.
All right.
It's free.
It's free. You can
If you have
download it.
gold.
I don't know what it is. Don't forget, you can initiate the download and then instantly cancel it, and that will add the game to your library to download whenever you want, forever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to play
forever.
So
Sandlot reference.
Also, it's probably worthwhile to do this because if Gears 3 or Plants vs. Zombies becomes backward compatible on Xbox One, then hey, you have it in your library. You can download it anytime.
Boom. Smart
That's what
move.
I've been doing.
That Mitch, always thinking.
Also, I don't know if you guys wanted to mention, they have the Ultimate Game Sale going on right now.
That is true.
Until the 13th, I believe.
Yeah.
So
up to like 50% off some certain
of the titles,
games.
yeah.
I know the couple that stood out for me on the list were Ori and the Blind Forest, which I know you love.
Yeah, $5 off.
So good.
$15, which I think is a great deal.
So
Destiny: The Dark Below is $5 off. The expansion pass is $10 off.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Assassin's Creed China, the Chronicles.
Chronicles China, yeah.
Yeah, that one's I think $5.
I saw that Sniper Elite 3 is down to $5. People keep telling me to play that game. I never did.
It's solid. It's not, it's not like gonna melt your face, but it's a solid game. I mean, with 2, I've only played a touch of 3, but with 2, the sniper parts are really, really good. If you have to not use a sniper and do other things, that's where it suffers.
Well, apparently 3 is supposed to be pretty good about marrying those two. It's like a puzzle-solving Hitman style, very difficult sniper
totally down
navigation
with that.
game. Yeah, it sounds cool. I should get to that someday.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break and come back, do a little trivia. Mitch, I think you've got a chance here, since your comrades are away, to steal the lead.
There we go.
All to yourself.
And I don't know what to do because this question's really good.
All right, we will be back with the Unlock Box trivia right after this. All right, let's do a little trivia. As I said, Mitch, you're on the pole position here, a chance to take the lead in the race.
Racing jokes.
A race for the Dookie Trophy, which will be made at some point this year and awarded to the unlocked cast member with the highest Unlock Block trivia score for the year. Our question comes to us from Matt Rogers. Congratulations, Matt. You've won yourself a video game. I've got a few in the pile, some Smite beta codes kindly donated by listeners, as well as a few other things here and there. Some DLCs, some what have yous. So I will ask the two of you. I'm gonna like Joker in the Dark Knight. I'm gonna throw the pen down and be like, "We're gonna have tryouts." I'm gonna ask you to write down your answer.
You're hiding it from me.
This question. Play along at home. Which of the following is not a character from the 2003 original Xbox game Kung Fu Chaos, which I remember well? He totally stumped me on this. I didn't know the answer to the question. So, which of these is not a character from Kung Fu Chaos? Is it A, Lucy Cannon? Haha, get it, huh? B, General So-So? C, Chop and Sticks? D, Shao Ting? All plays on words, maybe mildly racist as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I'm going to say A, Lucy Cannon.
Okay.
Because I remember Kung Fu Chaos coming under a bit of fire for being vaguely to overtly racist. And Lucy Cannon is the only one of these that I'm not instantly offended by. So I'm going to say that she doesn't fit the game, and that's where that logic comes from.
All right.
I could be wrong.
I appreciate your explanation into your answer. Elena, take a shot.
I took a different tactic to this because I don't know anything about this game, probably because it was reported to me as being racist, and I am Chinese, so decided just to avoid that.
Yeah, I can understand
that. So my logic is that Chop and Sticks implies to me 2 characters, and this is about a character.
Mm-hmm.
Going for the technicality.
I'm going for technicality here.
I thought about that as well.
So my answer is C.
All right. Mitch, your quest to take sole lead of the points lead for the year will have to wait. Damn. You did not get it. Elena, you didn't either, and I didn't either. Matt Rogers stumps us all.
Wow.
General So-So is the one he made up. The rest of Lucy Cannon is in Kung Fu Chaos, as is Chop and Sticks, as is Shao Ting.
General So-So is appropriately racist, so good job, question mark.
So,
that was my second choice.
I want to salute Matt Rogers. He's won himself a prize just for having his question chosen.
Nice.
If you would like to have your question chosen and thus win a prize, some sort of Xbox game or thing yourself, send a trivia question, Xbox-related trivia question, along with 4 multiple-choice answers. Please note the correct one in your email. And where do they send that, Mitch?
That's to unlocked@ign.com, Ryan.
Outstanding. Let's hit the road, shall
Indeed.
we? It's a, again,
shorter show this week.
Not much to talk about,
Yeah.
and, can't top last week, so we'll just pack it up and go home.
It's a slow week for Xbox, but
It
it's
is.
a really, really, really exciting week on IGN for PlayStation. You should definitely go check out all of our No Man's Sky IGN first coverage.
Yeah, that's our game for the month. Big question from everybody is this coming to Xbox? The answer is I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. They've had a lot of loosey-goosey language about console first on PlayStation, so probably.
I agree with you as well. I think the question is more, is it going to be a timed exclusive?
Right.
Or is it are they just going to put all the marketing behind the PS4 version? I agree with you, but I don't know, and we will do our best to unearth the answer as IGN first goes on, because we do have a number of features planned, and one of them is hopefully going to be a sort of ask Hello Games anything about this game, and I guarantee that'll be the number one question people want to know. So we'll see if maybe they'll address it. But yeah. No Man's Sky, hell of a game.
Yeah, check out my preview. I did something on just kind of the general exploration of that universe, leaving your mark on it, kind of being alone out there in the world, and we also have 18 minutes of gameplay. That is phenomenal. Yeah. It had me in awe like the entire time.
It's only ever really been shown in like 3-minute snippets, usually with cuts and montage stuff.
And now it's like, hey, we're in space, we're on a planet, we're taking off, we're back in space. What is happening?
That's good stuff. So we'll have a lot more on that all month long. Where can we communicate with you, my friend?
You can get at me on Twitter at MitchieD.
Radical. Elena Yee.
Yes.
What are you up to that we should be checking out on IGN or elsewhere?
Oh, well, as you know, I am the tech editor here, so random tech stuff going up, as well as I actually work with Miranda and Megan on anime stuff.
Yes.
We're actually doing a blitz on anime coverage this week,
nice.
So you can check that out.
Subscribe to Anime Club.
Yes, and also check out our posts on Twitter. You can find me at Morphing Ball.
Nice. And speaking of tech, I actually very happy to have gotten to do a tech piece for you. Mm-hmm. Which went up today as we record this. My review of the Tesla Model S P85D.
Also known as the P85 Whee!
Yes. A car literally with
that's his. I'm just,
It's in the video review, Mitch. Been sitting on that one for a while.
Unsubscribe.
You can't.
No.
You work here. We're not a car site.
Nope.
But we do cover tech, and that car is technology on wheels. I mean, that's what it is. It is an electric car built with millions of lines of code. So we thought we'd take a look at it to see what it's like to live with and how it is as a piece of technology in your life. So take a look at that on IGN. And as Mitch mentioned, the No Man's Sky stuff, which, for now, PlayStation game, but probably, hopefully, also relevant to you as an Xbox player.
Also definitely coming to PC if you also play on there.
For sure. Yeah. And then of course, most of you already saw Unlock 200 and 201. Get caught up on those if you haven't seen them.
Absolutely.
Either on the IGN app or YouTube, or if you want to just download them from iTunes, whatever your preference there. And follow me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan if you like the t-shirt I'm wearing.
Oh, yeah.
See my Twitter profile page for a link to how to get it. It's a little creation of mine that I'm super proud of and would love it if you'd buy one. So I think we're done.
Yeah.
Not bad.
The worst show we've done in weeks because they've all been too good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I feel very good about myself and my efforts today.
Thanks, Mitch. No, it's good to be back in the studio though. Back in here doing our regular thing.
I just wish we had news to join us.
Hopefully next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get there. So most of you, by the way, subscribe to the feed on iTunes. It's funny taking that quick informal poll at episode 200 with like 450 of our super hardcore fans. It was probably, I'd say the applause was like 3/4 to 1/4 of audio versus video. So most of you still getting the show on iTunes, which you're better off having this face not in front of your face while you consume this show. But IGN Prime, that's a place you can go and give us a little bit of money, and we'll give you no ads.
And free games.
And some free games.
I don't know what the free game is this month. Never Alone? Was that last
month?
month?
That was last month.
This
month is something else.
Oh, I think it's Rocket League. I don't know.
Wait, isn't that also free on PS4 right now?
It might be.
Yeah. Anyway, for a better IGN viewing experience, if you're on the site often, we encourage you to help us keep the lights on. Go to IGN.com/Prime. It's $30 for a 1-year subscription, and that will get you, again, diminished adverts, no ads, and also, as Mitch and Elena mentioned, free games and the occasional beta access to big stuff as well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's it. We're done. We will see you guys next week as the 200s roll on for Podcast Unlocked.
Onward to 300.
Yes.